An extraordinary leak, but an even more extraordinary reaction by the previous government. Now, this all started in February 2022. Boris Johnson was still in office when the data breach initially happened. But we're told it took 18 months for the Ministry of Defence to be made aware after some of the data appeared online and journalists started asking questions. By this time, Rishi Sunak was Prime Minister and his Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace, applied for the injunction, he says, to protect those at risk from the leak. Ben Wallace then stood down and was replaced by Grant Shapps as Defence Secretary, and in September a High Court judge gave the government more than it had asked for by granting a super injunction, banning anyone from reporting that the court order even existed. Now, in October, the government asked for this super injunction to continue, but then in November, a different judge seemed to sound the alarm, saying the super injunction was likely to give rise to the understandable suspicion that the court processes are being used for the purposes of censorship. But he went on to approve a 4-week extension to it anyway. Now, the following month, ministers met to arrange a new secret resettlement route for people put at risk by the data breach. 4,500 Afghans would come to the UK this way at a cost of over £800 million to the taxpayer. The super injunction was also extended for another 2 months at this point and continued again in February 2024 until the 21st of May, when the same judge ordered it to be lifted, saying it is fundamentally objectionable for decisions that affect the lives and safety of thousands of human beings and involve the commitment of billions of pounds of public money to be taken in circumstances where they are completely insulated from public debate. Now, the day after that ruling, Rishi Sunak called the general election, under pressure on both public spending and immigration. But then, in the middle of the campaign, government lawyers went back to court to appeal the decision. 3 judges agreed and blocked the lifting of the order, meaning the details of the leak, which, remember, would have been revealed days ahead of the general election, well, they stayed secret. Now, the July general election, of course, then brought Labour to power. And in February this year, the new Defence Secretary, John Healey, is warned about the multi-billion-pound costs of the Afghan resettlement schemes, and he orders a review. Now, that finds the data leak is unlikely to have increased the risk to affected Afghans, and so the government asks for the super injunction to be lifted, and the details are made public. It's a long and messy saga, played out largely behind closed doors, that raises big questions about the power of government and the courts in times of crisis.